Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Fundamentals of Engineering. In today's session, we are going to see what are the M codes are used whenever we are writing the CNC program. In previous lecture, we have seen what are the introduction to CNC machine. In that, whenever we are writing the program, what are the basics needs are required that we have seen. Also, we have seen the G codes which are used for FANUC system that we have seen. The M code which is a machine code, how we are using this M code in writing CNC program, what is its specific function that we are going to see. Before starting to this session, I request everyone to subscribe my channel, click on bell icon to get more notifications. So M code is used to signal an action from miscellaneous group of commands. So M which is refers to machine or miscellaneous code. With the help of M code and G code, we are writing the CNC program to get the finished operation based on the component drawing. So these M codes and G codes are used in different machines. So for this session, we are going to see the M code which required in FANUC system. So this is the line which is written based on the block number, then G, X, Y, Z axis, feed, spindle speed, tool number and M code. So the M code which is a signal or it is an action from miscellaneous group of commands. So what are these different M code that we are going to see? As we know, whenever we are doing the operation, the G code is giving the command to process the operation tool movement, and the M code is given for the machine command. So operating the machine, for that the M code is given. So this is the list for the different M code. Among that, the FANUC system using some important M codes. That M codes we are going to see. So based on the manufacturers and different machines developers, some changes in the M and G code, but we are going to see the FANUC system M codes. So one by one we are going to see this. So first one is a M00, that is a program stops. Program stops means temporary stoppage of machine or tool for unlimited duration. So we are stopping the program for the unlimited duration. There we are using M00 code, and M01 code is used whenever we are going to stop the machine for the optional time or there is a planned stop, like temporary stoppage of machine tool for specified duration. Here we are stopping the machine for the specified duration. So what is the difference between this program stop and plan stop? So if M00 is used, then we are stopping the program for unlimited duration. So whenever we are starting the program, then again if you want to start that program, again we have to follow the steps from the earlier. But in M01, if we use F followed by the number, which gives that the program is stopped for this 50 seconds. So whatever the F followed by number is there, that number indicates the stoppage of the machine for this specified duration, which is in second. So this is the difference between program stop and plan stop. Next, M02 is the end of main program written without use of subprogram, and M17 is used for end of subprogram, and M30 end of main program written with use of subprogram. So subprogram is written which start with a L number. So whenever the repeatable movement of the tool is required, for the repeatable movement a program return is called as subprogram. So these programs will be called in main program whenever repeatable movement of the tool is required. So the length of name of subprogram can be up to 64 characters consisting of alphabets and numbers, but it starts with letter L. So SPF is a subprogram file. So L100 P10 implies that subprogram has to be executed 10 times. So the similar operations we want to perform, like drilling operations, same drill we want to do again and again. So there we can use this subprogram file, and with a P number, how many times we have to execute that operation. In this photo you can see the drilling operations. We have to execute it for 10 times. Then we have to give the number P, how many times we have to execute it, that subprogram, that P followed by number. It can be different types. So how many times, based on the component drawing, we have to use that number. Here we have used the 10, means subprogram has to be executed 10 times. Then M03, that spindle start in a clockwise direction, and M04 for spindle start in a anti-clockwise or counterclockwise direction. So based on the operation, which specific operations we have to perform, based on that we have to move the spindle either in clockwise direction or counterclockwise direction. Based on that we have to use either M03 for movement of the spindle in clockwise direction, or M04 movement of the spindle in the counterclockwise direction. So M03 S1000 means S indicates that, which is followed by a number, that spindle speed in RPM. So whatever the S followed by any number which is given means that the spindle starting with this RPM. So either we can use M03 or M04 based on the movement of the spindle, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. Based on that, whatever the numbers which is written followed by the S means that spindle speed is given in the RPM. And M05 for the spindle stop. Whenever we want to stop the spindle after completing the operation, there we can use M05 code. Then M06 is a tool change, means we have to choose the tool based on the operations. So based on the component drawing we have to select the different tools for the different operations. Like in a component, if it is required to do the operations like turning, drilling, milling, so based on that we have to change the tool for the specific operations. So this T followed by number indicates that cutting tool number. So we have to use cutting tool number to perform the operation. For that we can use automatic tool changer, where we can change the tool in the ATC, or where we can load the tools, and based on the operations we can select the tool based on the number. So at ATC we are given the numbers for the tool, and just we give the numbers, but after the capital T, then that tool will be called and it will perform the operation. If we are having multiple operations we have to done on the same component, there we can use this M06 for changing the tool. As we have seen that block numbers which are given, it is in an incremental number, because it will give a facility for modification of program corresponding to the design modification. If we are writing the block numbers, that program we are writing, so that is a benefit. So there will be any change we can do, we can add it. Like if you want to add any operations in the corresponding part drawing, there we can add it. So there we can change the tool and add that tool with a indication of XYZ movement, that coordinates movement, there we can add it. Then M07 for the coolant pump on in a missed position, and 08 is for coolant pump on in a flood. In maximum coolant will be there. So whenever we are doing the operation by using CNC, there is a possibility that we are using maximum spindle speed, also the cutting speed. So if we are using this type of conditions, machining conditions, there is a possibility that large force will be appear, and due to that large force there will be a heat generation at the contact point of the workpiece and tool. So due to this heat generation, there is a possibility that the tool wear will be occur at no time. Also, that will affect the surface area of the workpiece. So to overcome that, we have to use the coolant so that whatever the heat generated can be minimized to some extent, so that will not hamper the surface area of the workpiece, and to it will not hamper the tool wear of the workpiece. So for that we have to use the coolant. So whenever we are doing the operations in CNC machine, we are always using the coolant for the operations. For that, either we use M07 code or M08 code, how much coolant we require whenever we are doing the operation. Based on that, we can use the coolant position, either mist or flood. Then M09 for coolant pump off. Whenever the operation is completed, we have to off the coolant so that we can remove the operation, we can remove the workpiece. So for that, the two codes are used: M10 for clamping and M11 for declamp or unclamp. So whenever we are doing the operations, we have to hold the workpiece with a large force by using the chuck. So there clamping M10 is used, so that whatever the force which is generated due to high pressure, high spindle speed and feed rate by the cutting tool, that will not hamper the position of the workpiece. And once we want to complete the operation, we want to remove the workpiece, then we can use the declamp M11 code for the declamp or unclamp. We can use the manual clamping, but there is a difficulty that the same force will not be appear whenever we are doing the operations. There is a possibility that the force will be differ. So for this we are using this pneumatic clamping. For that code we are using M10 for clamping, M11 for declamp the chuck. So in this session we have seen what are the M codes which are used for FANUC system whenever we are writing the CNC program. So whenever we are writing the CNC program, we require to have G codes and M code. G code is for operation and M code is for machine code. Hope you like this. If you like it, please stay connected and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Click on bell icon to get more notifications. Thank you. Thank you very much.